This was the second film the Marx Brothers had ever made. And their bosses at Paramount wanted to make sure that the man in charge of this second film had a little more control than the two men who jointly directed their first film, who had no control whatsoever over the brothers. This time, Paramount assigned Victor Heerman, a man known to be able to keep a pretty firm hand on actors. And he did his best to keep the brothers under control. Nevertheless, Lillian Roth, who played Arabella, later described the set as one step removed from a circus. She also confessed that she once forced 10 takes on a particular scene because she just couldn't stop laughing at what Groucho was doing. Up next, our New Year's Eve salute to the Marx Brothers continues with a trip to the opera. And Happy New Year.
Turner Classic Movies is open all night with a Marx Brothers double feature. Groucho promises Margaret Dumont he'll get her into high society in A Night at the Opera. Then Harpo takes the reins as a jockey who spends a day at the races. And Spanish Queen Vivica Lindfors is turned on by the adventures of Don Juan. We love a good story. On Turner Classic Movies all night.
Taxi!
Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. A Happy New Year to all of you, wherever you are. We've been showing nothing but Marx Brothers movies to help bring in the year 2002. And up next, we have what may be the merriest of all the comedies they made. It's A Night at the Opera, the first film the brothers made at MGM Studios after several years working for Paramount. But now they were championed by MGM's chief of production, Irving Thalberg, at what was considered the top of the line among all movie studios. And not surprisingly, of course, Thalberg was one very busy guy. According to Groucho, Thalberg would be sitting with the brothers and their scriptwriters, and suddenly he'd stand up and say, "I'll be right back." But then he'd go off to another script conference on another film and wouldn't return. One time when he stood up to leave, the brothers said, "Hey, don't do that to us again." Thalberg said, "No, I'll be right back." But he didn't return for hours. So at their next meeting, after Thalberg left and said he'd be right back, the Marx Brothers called down to the MGM commissary, ordered some baking potatoes, and when Thalberg eventually returned, he found Groucho, Chico, and Harpo sitting in his office roasting potatoes in his fireplace, naked. Thalberg laughed, called the commissary himself, and ordered butter for the potatoes. Here from MGM in 1935, A Night at the Opera.